Well, here we are in the always beautiful and almost always blooming Westcroft Gardens, the oldest farm still in the same family in Michigan. It was established in 1920 by the grandfather of the present owner-operator, Denise DeBose, and Ernie Stanton converted a former hay farm into gardens of trees and plants with colorful spring blooms, which he hybridized for Michigan climate. There are azaleas and rhododendrons. It's open to the public from dawn to dusk every day. And Jack and I are sitting on a giant rock commemorating both Ernie and his wife Connie with a plaque that says, Ernie Stanton and Connie Stanton, they both passed away in 1984. It says, God makes, man shapes. Their love of nature's beauty inspired the creation of Westcroft Gardens Park, and their love of man prompted them to share it with all who come. Their spirits remain here forever.
So, but catch the bottom one.
And it also says, what worth has beauty if it be not seen?
We thought we'd do the introduction to the Island Eye here on Westcroft Gardens, where soon the azaleas and rhododendrons will be in full bloom. My wife Pam always tells me that for her birthday, don't get her any presents, just take her for a walk here at Westcroft Gardens. It's the best time to see the color in the gardens, so here we are. Celebrating those pesky Arctic vortexes are behind us, and spring definitely has arrived on Grosse Ile.
We haven't done an Island Eye for a few months, but we hope to do a spring-summer edition, a fall one, and a winter Island Eye. Just to remind you, the Island Eye stands for issues, interviews, and information. Our interview will be with the only woman on the township board, Lauren Smith. She's a liaison with both the Communications Commission and the Festival Commission. Our issue features DPS Chair Bill Kostick, who will give us an update on how they plan to fix our roads, which took a terrible beating this winter. And our information will cover events that happen in the spring and summer.
One event we want to make sure everyone knows about is what Denise DeBose and her cousin Erica have planned for every Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. starting May 17th and running until October. It's a farmer's market right here in a restored barn on the property. There'll be garden produce, crafts, and of course, you can buy plants, shrubs, and trees for your garden from Westcroft Gardens sales area. Now, let's go to Church Road and Park Lane and hear from Bill Kostick on how the DPS plans to fix our bumpy roads.
I'm here with Bill Kostick, and he's the chair of the DPS Commission, but they oversee the road conditions, and we've just been through a terrible winter, hard on the roads. We lasted the winter, the roads kind of gave up. And tell us, Bill, what are the plans for Grosse Ile roads?
Well, the plan for Grosse Ile roads, unfortunately, the roads are all owned by Wayne County. So we have to work with Wayne County, but every year, Pam, we spend a considerable amount of money repairing roads. For example, last year in 2013, we spent almost $300,000 in scattered locations around the island. Some of the big intersections we paved were along East River at Stoughton Island and at Church Road. But each year we spend upwards of $200,000 to $300,000. This year, we're trying something new. And in addition to some concrete slab replacement on concrete roads in different neighborhoods on the island, we're going to try something called a chip seal. And what it is, it's a thick slurry seal that's spread on roads. And then the contractor comes along with a very thin chip, stone chip, spreads it and then rolls it. And we've gone to Monroe County and Lenawee County and watched this process. They do about 70 to 80 miles a year in each of those counties. Wayne County doesn't do any chip seal. Now, a lot of our asphalt roads are really in bad shape. Some roads, we're here at Church Road and Park Lane. Church Road is not eligible for chip seal. It's too cracked, it's too far gone. We're looking at engineering the reconstruction of Church Road, and it's an issue we'll be presenting to the voters in the future. But the chip seal approach, we hope to do about 4 miles this year in 2014 and let the citizens experience it and judge it, because if we're successful with it, and we do have permission to do it from Wayne County, if we're successful, we hope that we can do 15 miles in a year or two, and that would really improve the image of the island.
Well, if you only get $225,000 a year from the road maintenance millage, how are you going to spend that? Do you have to raise more money?
Well, that's a very good question. The voters approved, I think it was in 2000, a 10-year millage levy of 0.4 of a mil. Right now it raises about $225,000 a year. Now, out of that, we have to do, we supplement Wayne County snow plowing and ice removal on the school bus routes. That's about $40,000 a year. We do about $25,000 to $30,000 a year in dust control and about $20,000 in roadside maintenance that the county never seems to get to. So what's left, we spend on road maintenance. We had an accumulated fund balance when we took on some of these other projects, and so each year we hope to have at least $100,000, but it doesn't go very far. So our roads are deteriorating. It makes me sad to see how bad they all are. No different than off the island. Several of the major county roads are in very, very bad shape with a lot more traffic than we have. But we're working on a long-term program that we'll have to submit to the voters to fix East River Road, Meridian Road, West River Road. Church Road needs to be totally rebuilt, and Ferry Road is getting in that shape.
So when does this patchworking start for us? When can we expect to see the roads get that sealing?
Well, it has to be done in July and August. The process requires that the evenings don't get too cool. So we're going to take bids June 3rd for the 4 miles of chip sealing. The roads that will be done, there's 2 sections of East River that will be done, one between Manchester and Grow, another between the Macomb and the junior high school, and a section from South Point along Grow past the township offices. So those sections will be done, and they together total about 4 miles, or almost 4 miles. And then the residents will have a chance to drive on them. We'll see how this works on the island, but we have high hopes that it'll work very well. And that work should get started by July 1st. We're also going to do about $100,000 worth of concrete slab replacement. You'll notice some real bad ones along Park Lane near Macomb, or just between Macomb and Grosse Ile Parkway, and then also on Manchester Road. There's a number of bad spots. And each year we're in those areas fixing the concrete slabs as they deteriorate.
And will you be overseeing all this process in person?
No, I'm a volunteer. Our commission is advisory, but our engineers, Raines Engineering Company, and our DPS staff will be overseeing it.
And if the citizens want to know more about this process or know what's going on with the DPS and our roads, how do they find that out?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. Our commission meets in a public session in the township office the second Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock, the second Tuesday of every month. So we would love to have people come and hear about roads. In fact, when we do the chip sealing, we're going to have quite a campaign to let the public know what's going on. We want to ask the public to drive the roads and take a look at them for themselves when they're completed. So we would very much like to have more public input. One of our responsibilities is to maintain a relationship with the county. And of course, every community that I know of in Wayne County is upset with the Wayne County road staff. And I would say this, though, as far as the state collection of gas and vehicle registration taxes, since 2004, that's 10 years ago, there's been about a 10% decline in revenues at the state level, and that transmits to the county level and all the cities and villages in the state. So Wayne County does in fact have at least 10% less than they had 10 years ago. And with revenue declining and costs going up, it's a very bad predicament. You know, they've laid off employees. They have fewer dollars to pledge to communities. And frankly, if we were to wait solely on Wayne County, we would never see some of these roads fixed.
Well, Bill, we thank you for sharing the information for our issue on road conditions. We're expecting to see great improvement and a smoother ride on Grosse Ile.
Well, Pam, thank you, and I'd like to do another one of these. The commission is working on a long-term road improvement program that I mentioned, and I would expect in 60 or 90 days we're going to have that to the point where we could share it with people. Sometime we'll be asking the voters, probably my guess is in 2015, to consider it. But one of the issues, along with fixing the roads, is the old aged water mains we have. So many of our water mains, major water mains, are 60, 70 years old. This past year we had one water main break so far every third day. So that's just too much. And before we fix roads where we have to replace the water main needs to be fixed first. So we're looking at all that, and I'd love to have the opportunity to explain the whole program in detail when it's finished.
We'll count on that. And thanks, and I'm glad that we've got a responsible volunteer carrying a heavy responsibility.
Let's go.
Our interview for the Island Eye is going to be with Lauren Smith. And when I stepped off the board in 2008, Lauren Smith stepped up to the plate. So let's find out a little bit more about the only woman serving on our township board. So welcome.
Thank you.
Lauren.
Thank you for having me.
And what got you interested in running for the township board?
Oh boy. Well, it probably goes back a ways. I've always had an interest in government and politics, and when I moved to the island, I thought I wanted to get involved, and so I applied to go on the Communications Commission. And after some time on the commission and some encouragement from friends and family and neighbors, they said, well, here's some opportunities, why don't you go for it? So I did, and here I am.
Now, how has it been going? And how do the guys treat you on the board? Because there's 7 board members and you're this only woman serving on the board.
Right. You know, it has been great. I will say that I think everybody looks at it more as a team than anything else, and everybody brings a different skill set and a different philosophy and a different background to the board. So with that, you know, we treat each other with mutual respect, but the guys so far have been fabulous, and they've really brought me up to speed, so yeah.
Well, 6 years ago, when I used to go to the township board meetings before I served on the board, I saw there was only one woman serving on the board, so I thought, well, that better change, so I ran and got elected. Would you encourage more women to get involved?
Absolutely. I think that there's definitely a gap, not only in local level, but, you know, state as well as federal level. And if you look at, you know, the census statistics, very few women are actually serving and representing the percentage of the population. I mean, here in Michigan, it's 50.8% of the population. Federally, it's 50.9, and here actually on Grosse Ile, it's 49.8. So we really don't have parity with the population. You know, another kind of random stat is in Michigan, of any city that's over 30,000 population, there's only 5 women serving as mayors. So that's that is not a good statistic. I think when you look at, you know, gender and what gender can bring to the table and the different viewpoints, I think it serves to have some balance.
I agree wholeheartedly. Now, you serve on several commissions. What commissions are you a liaison on for the township?
I am a liaison to both the Festival Commission as well as the Communications Commission, and both of them are great. We all get along, and you know, one of the things that there's a lot of, I mean, with Island Fest coming up, there's a lot of pressure, you know, so everybody's tense and everybody's trying to get things done, but again, it's all about teamwork.
Is it time consuming?
Overall, I would say especially with Island Fest right now, yes, it is very time consuming. But I will say you don't have to give 100% of your time when you get involved in local politics at this particular level. But what you do have to do is give 100% of your attention to all the detail, because it's important to know what you're voting on, what you're working with, and ask the hard questions. And sometimes you have to take a rather unpopular stance, but
Now, when you're not serving on a commission or sitting on the township board here, what is your life like when you're not on the board?
Right. Well, that's even busier. I have 2 stepsons, and they are 14 and 16, both highly involved in hockey. One's in travel hockey, the other one plays on a separate team. So it's to different cities and different states quite a bit. 2 rescue dogs, which keeps Scott, my husband, and I very busy. They keep us active, which is good. We have our hobbies, and we also have marketing is really my passion, so I'm helping my husband out with his marketing. We just went through a whole new rebranding campaign for his company, so that, and also I'm in the middle of my own business ventures, so that's keeping me busy and stressed and challenged all at the same time.
Yeah, to keep smiling.
Yeah, well, I try.
Now, is there a pet project that you're really concerned about or interested in working on?
Well, when I think of pet projects, I think of something that might not necessarily be needed, but something that's more of an agenda for somebody. And I don't necessarily feel that I have that, but like I previously mentioned, marketing is my background and it's my passion. So what I like to do and enjoy doing is taking things that are already in existence and looking to see how can we improve these, make them either more effective or more efficient. And I know that you guys are going to be talking about channels, and I assisted a little bit with Tim Rooney in that. So it was. I think that they should be very proud because it's a nice piece. Yeah.
Well, I think now our viewers know a little bit more about Lauren Smith, and thank you for agreeing to be interviewed for our interview. And our information piece is going to be over at Water's Edge, and we're going to take a look at the new channels and give everybody listening an idea of what's happening on Grosse Ile spring and summer. So stay tuned. Well, here we are at Sharky's on the waterfront.
On the waterfront.
Golf is going on. Swimming will soon be starting.
Yeah.
And we're going to share with our listening public this wonderful new edition of the channels, everything that's happening on Grosse Ile. So Jack is going to give you kind of an overview.
All I could say when I first saw this was, wow, we've come alive. This is Grosse Ile grown up. And I thought, holy mackerel, and I understand Lauren Smith had something to do with this. And if so, man, thank you, Lauren, because we've got information in here we've never had before. And it's just a marvelous layout. And I just say thank you to everybody who had a hand in putting this thing together. There's just so much information in here. I'll let Pam tell about it because she talks more than I talk, so I'll let her do that.
Well, we certainly want to mention that if there's anything you need to look up, here's an index right on the front cover. And in flipping through the channels, you can learn all about what's going on in Grosse Ile Township. There's information about the committees, the commissions. You flip a few more pages, and then you'll find out what's going on in the rec department. All kinds of activities for kids in the summer. There's golf, there's tennis, there's volleyball, there's swimming.
And you can get instructions in any of these sports here. That we're really with it this year.
And here's all about Grosse Ile Township, other than just the township board and the police and the fire, but the animal shelter, there's information. There's information about the Grosse Ile Municipal Airport and even an aerial view of the airport landing strip. Flip it a little bit further and you find all about the Grosse Ile Schools. They got a page in the new channels. And here is the what's going on at the Centennial Farm with the Luton Writing Academy and all the activities for kids there.
And if you ever want to rent the facility over there at the horse farm area, tells you about that also.
And here's from an item from the Grosse Ile Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission.
Yeah.
And with all our bike trails that are going on all across the island, you can have some input. They want to hear from us what we would like to see in the future in biking and pedestrian pathways. And they even mentioned the seniors.
Whoa.
The seniors have a club meeting every second and fourth Tuesday, and they have luncheons sponsored by the rec department.
And good ones, served by Sharkies.
You're absolutely right. And Senior Olympics that you've been involved in.
Coming up.
And flipping through the pages a little bit more, there's like 32 pages of activities. The Tennis Center has a page. Here's swim lessons and pool programs. Here's Learn to Sail from the Grosse Ile Yacht Club.
Yep.
And something that I particularly enjoy, and I think a lot of our public does too, are the concerts. And if you come to the rec department here at Water's Edge, they have concerts every Thursday starting June 19 on a Thursday at 7 o'clock, and you can hear musical entertainment right here on the lawn. It's free. And Sunday nights we have the concerts on the Commons starting June 29, and a whole series of 10 concerts.
Every Sunday.
Sit on the lawn, free of charge, listen to music. And here's a brand new activity all about, it's called We Kayak.
We what?
We kayak.
Okay.
We paddle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right here at Water's Edge. There's a launch pad here, and you can enjoy company on the water and kayak with friends and family. A whole bunch of things going on, and it's all in this channels that is delivered right to your mailbox at home.
Now, let me top it off with saying, look at that cover once again. See the lighthouse? That's because there's going to be a lighthouse tour this year. And on the back page, save the date, October 11, 2014, there's going to be all kinds of doings on the main street on that day. And then up in here, there's that little thing up there that says only 100 cents. I looked at that and said, what? Oh, that's $1. And it's our Grosse Ile, Michigan, what do you call that thing? Bumper sticker. Yeah. So, you know, if it's not in here, it's probably not happening, but I'm sure there are other things going on. And because of that, ladies and gentlemen, you ought to be getting out this summer, enjoying. We finally got rid of that miserable winter. Let's have fun this summer. Let's see you at the different events. And we'll be there at most of them, and hopefully you will be too. So, signing off from headquarters here at Water's Edge Country Club, it's Jack and Pam saying, have a good summer.